What's up, guys? Welcome back to Airbnb ABCs. Today what I want to talk to you guys about is a major update from Airbnb on pricing and cleaning task updates. These are two things that guests have frequently complained about as far as transparency on either one of those. If you guys have been on any type of social media, and even the major magazines like Business Insider and the Wall Street Journal and things are starting to talk more and more about the way that people are complaining how the pricing that when they're looking at the map, when they're looking to book one of these, doesn't necessarily reflect what their total cost is when they go to check out. And these cleaning tasks that some hosts are putting on guests that are just absolutely outrageous. They are doing a major update that they're going to hope will address some of that. But before we get into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you guys hear everything that's coming out about Airbnb, VRBOs, short-term rentals, see how we run our Airbnb business, if it makes any money or if it doesn't. And be sure to hit that like button for me. That really helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. The two things that guests have really always harped on, especially in the last couple of years, is the pricing transparency and the absolutely ridiculous cleaning tasks that some hosts are putting onto their guests. And I think that this sort of gets blown out of proportion in a big way, but if, I did run across some of these complaints that people are saying, I would also be like, this is kind of baloney if I'm also paying you a cleaning fee. Starting off with price. The price listed on the map in search, especially if you didn't have specific dates put into the map on Airbnb, it will not necessarily show you all of the fees and your total price. What it will only do is show you what either the lowest price is or the average of the recent prices, and it doesn't say what the cleaning fees are going to be. It doesn't say what the taxes are going to be, the service fees, resort fees, or any other fees that may be attached to this. And there's actually a pretty good reason for this, being that the difference between how long you stay will make a difference on your total nightly rate. The cleaning fee is usually the cleaning fee, whether you stay there for 1 night or 2 weeks. So obviously your nightly rate with a shorter stay is going to actually be more than if you were staying there for a longer period of time. And so when the people would go to check out, oftentimes the total price was quite a bit more than the initial price, and that was pretty off-putting. And if you weren't really familiar with the way that the pricing works on that, if you're a first-time user, I can definitely see how that would be a major turn-off to these services. The other thing that people have been complaining about a lot, and with good reason, is these cleaning checkout items when you go to leave the property, your vacation is over, you just want to get in the car and go home, or get to the airport and go home. And that would be anything from like stripping beds to vacuuming to sweeping floors, doing just, ludicrous stuff that should be taken care of if you are charging your guest a cleaning fee that is supposed to take care of cleaning the entire home. And so what Airbnb did is on November 7th, they announced that they're introducing total price display and updating their guest checkout instructions so that these are all more transparent to the guests. Starting in December, they're going to roll out the option to display the total price that you're going to pay in search results, on the map, on the filter screen, and on the listing pages. Now, what this doesn't say at all in their press release is how exactly you are going to be able to get to that. Because again, like I said earlier, if you don't have your dates in there, if you don't have the times that you want to travel, it will drastically affect your nightly rate for your stay. Because again, the cleaning fee can be distributed amongst 1 night or maybe 3 nights or 5 nights, and that changes the total nightly rate. So I would assume that you are going to have your dates selected for when you want to travel in order for this to work. I don't know how they would make that happen any other way, just because it just wouldn't be able to compute that. Overall, I think that this is a very good thing as long as it's applied evenly to every listing. There already is an option in Airbnb where you can show the total nightly rate, and there's a lot of talk about that in different owners forums and such, if that would be attractive to people to have a more a transparent rate, and if people would like that. And the problem with that is that if only you select to do that, and only 10% of the people select to do that, when folks are looking at the map, they will see all of these different options. Some of them, for the same style, the same square footage, the same amenities type of property, will have prices that are priced extraordinarily higher than the other folks, because some folks are just listing their nightly rate and some people are using this total pricing thing. So if it is applied evenly to the entire map, either from Airbnb side where they just make it that way, or from the guest side if they want to search and it makes all of the properties display their pricing that way, I think that this is a good thing. And I think that any type of pricing transparency where people don't get that sticker shock right before they have to run their credit card is a good thing. A lot of people will say that this might make us less competitive with hotels, and some people say, well, I'm only staying in hotels. And the thing that I've always said is that if you guys are renting premium vacation rentals in premium vacation markets, that there is no way that any hotel room will ever compete with your properties. There's no way that a hotel room in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg is going to be able to compete with the amenities that I provide, with the space that I provide, with the views that I provide, and be able to beat my price on a nightly rate. It's just not going to happen. If that was the case, if they could provide those same things, it would be at a far higher cost. I'm able to provide that to folks at a far lower cost than any hotel would be able to provide that for. Now, on the side of the checkout instructions, Airbnb is saying that they are asking for a degree of reasonability. And they give a few examples such as stripping beds, vacuuming, things of that nature, but they really kind of left that as an open-ended question. And I don't know if they did that on purpose so that people can still have quite a bit of leeway as far as what they think is reasonable for guests to check out, or if they left that vague on purpose so that Airbnb can decide what is reasonable for checkout instructions. But in my opinion, with these checkout instructions, this is a great thing. Hosts have really, in my opinion, in a lot of ways, have sort of gone crazy with the amount of requirements that they are requiring guests to do. From the very beginning of the reservation to the checkout, you're requiring them to agree to all of Airbnb's rules, agree to your house rules, send an ID in some cases. And this is something that we do. We do require IDs just to make sure that minimum ages are being met. They're requiring people to send and sign rental agreements, which sometimes is going to require you to download an app, which is a total no for me. I'm not downloading an app on top of another app that I'm already using to rent this property. And then they have these insane checkout requirements after they're done. I mean, anytime that anyone would ask you to start laundry, vacuum, I don't know, look up on Reddit, look up on TikTok. They'll show you 1,000 of these things. It's just kind of gotten a little bit crazy, in my opinion, with the things that hosts are requiring of guests. If they do this, and what they're talking about is having these things disclosed upfront to people on their listing, I think that this is a great thing, so the folks can intelligently shop for the experience that they're looking for, and so that they're not getting hit with this stuff on the back end. I've always kept my checkout instructions very reasonable, with just throw your used towels on the bathroom floor, put your trash in the trash can, and start the dishwasher, only because we have a very quick turnaround time, because we are in a very busy market. The biggest thing that take away from this particular part of this update is that this gives you as a host the ability to stand out among the other hosts. If everyone else has long, ridiculous checkout instructions that are very unappealing to guests, this is an area where you can slide in and say, listen, mine are great. I just have these 1, 2, or 3 things, this one thing, or whatever you want to come up with. This is a way for you to stand out as being a better value, of delivering a better experience. And if that is uncommon in your market, whatever that you want to do, discuss this with your cleaners and perhaps offer them different compensation, more compensation that you could even still just pass on as a cleaning fee, because I think people would be willing to pay $10 or $20 more if they had very little to do when they check out. In any case, it may not be an issue at all between you and your cleaners, and it may just be a way for you to stand out as a host, get more bookings, get more 5-star reviews off of those bookings, and end up outperforming your competition because you have identified a niche area in your listing where you can stand out. So guys, be sure to click on the videos that are on the screen right now. They're going to tell you all about our Airbnb properties, how we run them from a distance, in anything that comes up in the Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rental world. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing out of this channel. Hit the like button if you haven't, again, so that this video can, cruise through the YouTube algorithm as best as possible. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I'll see you in the next one.